All right, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Wisconsin students, presented by the Wisconsin Association for College Admissions Counseling in partnership with StriveScan. My name is Nick Spaeth. I am the Director of College Counseling at Brookfield Academy, and I also happen to serve as the President of the Wisconsin Association for College Admissions Counseling this year. So a special extra thank you for joining us tonight. A few bits of housekeeping for the attendees. In this broadcast mode, the presenters cannot see or hear you. So you will need to use the Q&A button as a part of Zoom to either send questions, answer questions that they might ask of you. And so you can click on that and put your question into the Q&A box. And as a note, this session is being recorded, as have all of the sessions of the virtual college exploration program, and in the very near future, within the next few days, you'll be able to access those on wacac.com. If you are interested in any of the sessions tomorrow, the last day of the program, you can also still sign up online. Again, that is wacac.com. That's all I've got, and I would like to introduce you to April Lynch in Syracuse University.
Wonderful, thank you, Nick. So I am joined by many of my colleagues tonight from across campus, and they're each going to get a moment or two to talk to you about their unique areas. So thank you to them for coming and helping us out tonight. If you have questions at any point during this presentation, please feel free to put your question in the Q&A box, and one of us will answer it as we go through. And if time remains at the end, we will address some of those questions in live person as well. So Syracuse University is located in upstate New York. We have about 15,000 undergrad students and a few thousand grad students on campus. We are a Research One institution, which is the top tier of research, and we love to have students involved. So please join us with that. Tell your professors that you're interested, and we can have you join some of those research teams. We are Division I in athletics. You may have noticed we have really strong school pride, go Cuse. So we'd love to have you join that and cheer us on at the same time. We have over 100 majors, 200 majors and 100 minors, an average faculty to student ratio of student faculty of 15:1. Average class size is about 26 students, and about 60% of those classes have 20 or fewer students in them. We really want to make sure that you guys are getting that personal interaction with your professors that you really come to value. We have about 300 clubs, athletics, and organizations. So if you can't tell, we want you to be involved when you come to campus and join us in some of these activities, whether it's social, professional, or anything in between. We have a robust study abroad program with 5 locations around the world where we have our own campuses, and you can go and study there, plus over 60 other locations where you can do a full immersion study abroad speaking the language of the country. If you're interested in the Renee Crown Honors Program, we'd love to have you apply and join us for some of the more in-depth looks at studies. You can do a capstone and a thesis project as well as part of that. And Syracuse is lucky that we are fortunate enough to have had many awards and distinctions for our excellent academics throughout. So I would like to invite Rachel in the College of Arts and Sciences to go next.
Absolutely, thank you for that introduction, April. So for those of you who are thinking about attending Syracuse, a good place to start, and I'll say this on behalf of all of the different people who will be speaking to you tonight, is that you don't just apply to Syracuse, period. You apply to a specific school or college at Syracuse. So Syracuse is an umbrella, and there are a bunch of us here to talk to you tonight about our little pieces that go under the Syracuse umbrella. My piece is the College of Arts and Sciences and the Maxwell School. So these are 2 of the schools and colleges that, again, create that Syracuse umbrella. And we'll each be telling you a little bit about, what our schools and colleges have to offer. So one thing that I can tell you that kind of sets arts and sciences apart from the other awesome schools and colleges you'll hear about tonight is that we have a ton of students. We have a lot of majors in arts and sciences, which I'll show you on my next slide in just a minute. We see our students really doing unique things by comparing and contrasting our different majors and finding ways that they fit together that make sense to them. So I have just a few quick examples on this slide of ways that students have combined different majors. So Catherine is going to go to medical school. She chose our biology and our medicinal chemistry major. that might be totally, you know, expected for a pre-med student. This is probably a smile and nod moment. Of course, she wants to go to medical school, biology, medicinal chemistry, makes sense. But then we have Jess on the other side of the screen, religion, strategic management, and anthropology. So you'll notice that she has two seemingly maybe unrelated majors within arts and sciences and a minor from elsewhere on campus. So we really see students in the College of Arts and Sciences and the Maxwell School picking and choosing among our programs. Some of them will do a really deep dive, like Catherine, into a specific area, and that's where she focuses almost all her coursework is on those topics. And then other students will choose a broader range of topics by picking up multiple majors, by choosing minors from around campus, and so they'll get a more broad education. So it really is customizable to kind of how you would like to approach the topic or topics that you want to pursue as an undergraduate student, and that I think is a huge benefit. We also offer a really fantastic academic and career advising. So by being an arts and sciences or a Maxwell student, you would have an academic advisor who starts off talking to you about things as simple as what major do I even want? What class should I take this semester? To as complex as which internship do I need to do this semester? And maybe I want to do another one next semester to set me up for this specific career that I want to do. So that's another really big benefit of being with us is the quality of our academic and career advising, which is all rolled into one plan that you get just by being a student with us. And then you'll hear more about the other schools and colleges tonight. Like I said, they offer fantastic programs. They also offer minors that you can take. If you become interested in both arts and sciences or Maxwell, and then another school that you hear about tonight, you would not be alone. If that ends up being engineering and computer science, education, Whitman, or Newhouse, you should give us a shout out. We can talk via email, but you can also apply simultaneously to arts and sciences or Maxwell and one of those schools as well at Syracuse. Ready for my next slide, please? So like I said, a ton of majors. I'm not putting this up to shock you, just to show you what your options are. And we won't spend a ton of time on this slide, but if you're interested in one of the programs that's shown in navy, then that is an arts and sciences program. If you're interested in a program shown in orange, that is a Maxwell program. So again, the two schools work together. You can switch in and out between the two. If you change your mind, you're just like many of our other students. These are the options that we have available to you. And I'm sure that we'll be providing our contact information. You can also email orange@syr.edu. So if you need to see this slide again, or you need more information, you can obviously email anyone from Syracuse and they will point you in my direction and I'll be able to talk with you more in depth about these majors. And then for my last slide, I just wanted to show you a couple of examples of fantastic students. Again, not to shock you, these are two really wonderful students. Mia, who actually graduated. So you're seeing here a list of things that she did in 4 years. TJ is in his second year, going into his third year at Syracuse. So these are things that he completed in 2 years. But we also are seeing lots of arts and sciences students move outside of the classroom. So it's not just taking classes in those topics that I showed you. It's not just combining different courses and programs. It's also pursuing awesome research opportunities with our many faculty members who do research from every topic from women's and gender studies to languages to neuroscience across all different academic areas, getting involved in research with them, pursuing internships in Syracuse, around the country or abroad, and again, studying abroad. So April already mentioned we have very high quality study abroad programs. Students in all of those different schools and colleges you'll hear about tonight are taking advantage of these study abroad programs. But one thing I wanted to mention to you that's really important about arts and sciences is that our students can do all of the above. So you see here, Mia is, again, a fantastic example, 3 majors, multiple internships, a study abroad experience, and then made it into law school. So she is fantastic and she's a great example of all the things that our students do and have time to complete within 4 years. So I don't want to take up a ton of time. We have many other representatives that want to speak to you tonight. Again, my name is Rachel Skipper. I'm someone you can reach out to if any of the options that you just heard about are interesting to you. When you want to talk about them more, I would be happy to do that via email or a separate call.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jonathan Hoster, and I oversee admission for the College of Engineering and Computer Science at Syracuse. We're really glad that you're joining us tonight and really glad that you're interested in Syracuse. So thanks for being here. As you can see on the screen, Syracuse has 9 ABET accredited engineering degrees. If you're thinking about engineering or computer science, ABET is a really important thing to know about because that's the outside organization that accredits engineering or computer science degrees at any university. So it's a very important thing to know when you're looking at programs in these areas, that an outside organization says, this is a great program where students get a great education and have really great outcomes. Can we go back forward one screen, April? Thanks. There's a lot of hands-on projects. That's really important to engineering students. Our freshman class for all the engineering and computer science majors is called ECS 101. And so that's where those hands-on projects start in the very first semester. If students know exactly what they want to do, like if you've known since you were 3 years old that you wanted to be a civil engineer, that's great, and we'll help you do that. But we have a lot of students that come to Syracuse and aren't sure exactly which kind of engineering they want to do, and that's great too, and we'll help them figure that out. And the truth is you can't make a bad choice because all these majors lead to really great opportunities. As Rachel mentioned, we have really a focus on advising and supporting student success at Syracuse. So that's a major focus here in terms of supporting and encouraging our students' success. As you heard from April, we're an R1 university. That means there's some outstanding research opportunities for undergraduates. We have an undergrad research center called The Source that can connect our students with research opportunities as well as funding for their research. And some of our undergraduates get really involved in research and end up presenting their research at conferences all over the country. Some of them co-author journal articles, research articles with professors, and sometimes that experience launches them into graduate school for a master's or a PhD because they decide they really love doing research and want to continue that experience. You can see here there are so many clubs to be involved in. So within the world of engineering and computer science, there's about 20 clubs. So there are affinity groups for students of color and women in engineering. There's also a club basically for every engineering discipline that we offer, as well as a number of design teams. So we have teams that design and build cars and robots and rockets and drones. So really cool engineering things to be involved in, but we also encourage students in whatever your major might be at Syracuse to get involved in other things that you like to do, which could be music, sports, community service, student government, Greek life, et cetera. I think that's really important. Outcomes are really important as well in terms of our students do internships and co-ops and land jobs in companies across the country. So a lot of times they're doing an internship or co-op experience somewhere that's not necessarily near home, but they make really good money in that experience, and the money they're making will pay for their housing wherever they are. And in a lot of instances, they really impress the company that they're working for with their skill set and their work ethic when they're a co-op student or an intern, and that leads into a full-time job offer with that company. You can also see here, there's a mention of our living learning community. This is a really great thing at Syracuse. We have about 30, I want to say, living learning communities with different themes. The theme might be your major, or it might be another interest that you have. And so you can live with other students that share that common interest. And so I really encourage our engineering and computer science students to think about doing that for freshman year. You heard about some of the study abroad options earlier. The picture here is Bethany Murphy. She just graduated in this May of 2020 with her bachelor's degree in environmental engineering. And you can see she was an Army ROTC cadet as well. She studied abroad on several continents, including Asia and Australia while she was at Syracuse, and had an amazing research portfolio as well. She's now in the UK doing her master's in water engineering. And then after she finishes that, she'll come back to the United States to serve as an officer in the Army. You can also see at the bottom here, there are accelerated options to get a master's degree plus your bachelor's in a total of 5 years. We could go to the next slide, please. So a little more about careers outcomes. This is a sampling of a number of locations where our students have done internships and co-ops recently, and where a number of our recent graduates are working full-time. And so we're really proud of what our students are doing and really proud of what our alumni are doing in industry. And if we could go to the next slide, please. There's some really, really cool opportunities for entrepreneurship at Syracuse, and this is one of my favorite ones to mention. This is called the Invent at SU program. It's an invention accelerator where in the summer, our students typically in pairs design, prototype, and pitch original inventions. The pitching part of this is just like what you see on Shark Tank, inventors getting up in front of judges and pitching their inventions. Pictured here is Russell Fearon. He just graduated with his bachelor's in mechanical engineering and now continuing for his master's in biomedical engineering. He and his business partner, Ricardo, who is in his final year now in the Industrial and Interaction Design program that you'll hear more from my colleague Jenny in just a minute, they designed the product that Russell is holding in his hand there, which is called the Shug X. It's a smartwatch that monitors glucose levels for people with diabetes. Some of the students in this program win money out of the program, but a lot of the students continue working on these inventions and go to other opportunities to pitch them. So Russell and Ricardo went to a competition in Washington, D.C. last fall. They pitched this invention in a competition with the American Heart Association and ended up with $55,000 towards that invention. So we are super proud of the things our students are doing here at Syracuse, and I think this is a great example of that. So I'm pleased now to turn the microphone over to Jenny Saluti to tell you about the College of Visual and Performing Arts.
Thanks, Jonathan. Hi, everybody. My name is Jenny Saluti. I'm the Director of Recruitment and Admissions for the College of Visual and Performing Arts at Syracuse University, and I'm excited to be here with you. I have some great colleagues, and they set me up really well to talk with you about VPA and the arts at Syracuse University. We actually are made up of 7 schools and departments within the college. 6 of them are undergraduate colleges and schools, and you can see those here. So we have the Setner School of Music, the School of Art, Communication Rhetorical Studies, the Department of Drama, the School of Design, and also the Department of Transmedia. We offer 25 different undergraduate programs. We do have many graduate programs too, but we won't think about those tonight. And we offer 17 different minors, so a lot of ways to get involved. And the College of Visual and Performing Arts is unique because we are a professional school housed within a major research university. Jonathan mentioned there are one research experience, and our students really have the best of all worlds. So like a standalone art school or conservatory music or drama program, but all the benefits of a university. So our students will double major, they might participate in entrepreneurial experiences, as Jonathan mentioned, they may do a dual program with the School of Education, which you'll hear about a little bit more. They participate in all of the clubs and really have a full experience while immersing themselves within the arts. If you'll move to the next slide, April. We take up a lot of real estate on campus. So this slide shows you all of the different buildings that our students are doing work and engaged across campus. So we have a lot going on and we take up a lot of space. But the important thing to note about this is that our programs are mostly made up of courses in your major. So the majority of the majors that we offer are Bachelor of Fine Art degrees or Bachelor of Music degrees, and that means about 75% of your time would be spent in your major. So you'd be spending a lot of time in these buildings and immersed in your studio work, immersed in your practicing of music, and developing your acting skills or whatever it may be. I do want to point out that our Department of Communication and Rhetorical Studies, which you can see Sims Hall is the home to CRS, that is a Bachelor of Science program, and it really studies all forms of human communication. So at Syracuse, we have lots of places where it seems like things may cross over and you may want to ask more questions down the line. But CRS is really the art of communication and why it fits within our college as well. Next slide. Most, not all, but most of our programs do require an additional component to the application, and this is a big piece and an important component of your application. So students applying to the School of Art, the Department of Transmedia, the Department of Drama, in our non-performance majors, and also in the School of Art, School of Design, all will submit a portfolio. My team does sessions every other week about how to build your portfolio and how to get it together. So I would encourage you to attend one of those, but this gives you a sense of all the majors and what is required in addition to your common application and all of the things that go along with that. And for our Department of Drama performance majors and our Setner School of Music, an audition is required. And off to the side, Slide Room and Accepted are the 2 portals that we use to collect these materials, and they all connect up with the application that you submit to the university. So when we're making our decision about applications and about decisions, all pieces are important. Next slide. And because I could talk all night about VPA, I will stop there and say I highly encourage you to attend one of our virtual visits. And this goes for anyone that you meet here tonight. We all offer virtual visits to learn more about the individual programs and go into more depth and have a chance for you to ask lots of questions. So I encourage you to visit our websites and find the opportunities so that you can engage with us more and we can learn about you and you can learn more about us. Thanks so much.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Zachary Schuster. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here in the Fall College at Syracuse. I've been working at Syracuse for almost 9 years, which sounds crazy to me, but it's just an amazing place to work. And I'm sure as you've probably gathered by all of my colleagues and what they've told you about their schools and colleges, an even more amazing place to go to college. You know, overall, the Fall College is a really unique kind of smaller school within Syracuse University. We firmly believe that our students and certainly our staff, but most importantly, our academic programs are making a difference both in the industries, communities, businesses, and organizations that our graduates are going into through leadership and management, advocacy and counseling, education, health and wellness, social responsibility. Our students are also extremely career focused. So we're committed to not just making you a great professional in your field, but more importantly, to make you the best human being you can become after your 4 years here at Syracuse. I mentioned career focus. Each of our academic departments has internship coordinators. So you'll be set up with your own individual internship coordinator that will help you through your 4 years to find internships, but more importantly, get employment when you're finishing your undergrad program or certainly preparing you for graduate school as well. In terms of an academic experience, I believe we offer the best of both worlds. Some of that is through flexibility. Flexibility as a college student means a lot of different things. Flexibility could mean, as Rachel mentioned earlier, double majors or multiple minors. Flexibility could be opportunities to get college level credit for opportunities outside of the classroom. Think internship, capstone experience, so on and so forth. And flexibility could also mean opportunities for study abroad. We have some really unique immersion abroad opportunities that are major specific. So you could go to India as part of your public health program, or you could go to Australia as part of your sport management program, for example. We're extremely community focused. Of course, some of our programs, and I'll get to those on the next slide, but some of our programs are just very community focused as an academic discipline. So social work, human development, and family science, public health obviously revolve around the community, but even programs like sport management, sport analytics, our students are finding really creative ways to give back. And they actually annually raise between $55,000 and $60,000 for a local charity here in Syracuse. A hallmark of the Fall College, and you'll hear a lot about this if you attend one of our virtual sessions or evening programs, is theory to practice. So taking the ideas, the concepts and lessons you're getting in the classroom setting and being able to apply those into a real life or real world scenario. All of our programs provide students with education, career training, and network opportunities. So education could be going to a professional conference in your field of study. Career training could be attending a resume writing workshop by your major or academic discipline. And then we're always networking our students with Syracuse alumni, but also just other professionals in your field of study. And just some fun photos. I mentioned that immersion opportunity. So our exercise science students actually have the opportunity to go to Mount Everest and do a base camp trek and learn about altitude and its effect on the human body. Next slide, April. I mentioned we have some really unique academic programs. We have majors in food studies, health and exercise science, human development and family science, which also includes a dual program with the School of Education in inclusive early childhood and special education. We offer nutrition science and a nutrition dietetics program for anyone wanting to become a registered dietitian. We have an amazing public health program. Our faculty right now are doing an amazing job right here on the SU campus in keeping our students, our faculty, and our staff safe during this pandemic. We have a great social work program, and we have world famous sport management and sport analytics programs. We offer some really cool fast track master's degrees as well. So if you're thinking about doing an undergrad and starting a one-year master's program, we offer a variety of opportunities here on campus. Just to talk about a few, we have an applied data science program out of our iSchool here on campus. So if you're thinking analytics, you want to take it one step further, you can certainly do that. We have an accelerated 5-year public health MPH program, and we have a really unique accelerated 3+3 physical therapy track with SUNY Upstate. So Upstate is our next door neighbor. So if you're thinking about physical therapy, you can fast track that in a 6-year window. We have some really cool facilities. So please join me for one of our virtual sessions. Check out our things online. I know we're short on time, so I don't want to keep blabbering away, but I'll turn it off to our next presenter. I think I'm passing it back to April to talk about Whitman.
Yes, thank you. So Whitman School of Management is one of our powerhouse academic areas, just like many of the other ones presenting tonight. Whitman has several different majors you can see listed. We do have a new major that was just approved. It's business analytics, so you will start seeing literature on that soon. There are several dual enrollment options for you, so you can see Whitman works with several of the academic colleges to help you get that dual degree as you go through. There is also a 3+3 with the Bachelor of Science and the JD, so you can get your law degree as well pretty early. Whitman has some core values that each of the students learn as they go through. They are integrity, inclusion, collaboration, innovation, and excellence. These core values are things that Whitman builds upon with all of their students and makes sure that they truly understand the nature of how to work with others and treat people. We have some phenomenal programs in Whitman. One of the most impressive ones, I could say, is the Impress program. Students are broken into 4 different houses that compete against each other in different aspects throughout the school year. You're not only learning to compete against other houses, you're learning how to collaborate and work as a team with the other members of your house. So it's teaching you several lessons as you do this, but it's also one of the most fun programs that our students participate in there. We have a really nice job rate within a few months of graduation. So 91% of our students have a job within 90 days. 100% of our Whitman students have an internship before they graduate. It is a requirement for Whitman for students to have an internship. You will find that most of our Whitman students have more than one internship though. They want to go out there, build their experience, get to know different aspects of the industry that they're working in, and then start building their network. The Orange Tank Pitch Competition is another one, fun one to share with you guys. It is kind of, think of Shark Tank. This is what this is, the Orange Tank Pitch. Students can compete, they can pitch their ideas, and they can win money. And many of them have gone on to promote their ideas and win even bigger competitions after. So again, the key takeaways for Whitman are be involved, be collaborative, be innovative, and really learn how to network and engage in the area you're going into. And I am going to pass on to Wes with Newhouse.
Hi, everybody. My name is Wes Whiteside. I'm the Associate Director for Recruitment and Diversity at the Newhouse School of Public Communications. And the great thing about the Newhouse School is if you're interested in various areas of communications, as you see, these are all of our majors here. We have 8 majors falling into your areas of communications. But what makes Newhouse such a great communication school is we do teach writing. We do pride ourselves on writing. We are an accredited communication school. We are one of 112 schools that are accredited in communications. There are over 1,000 schools in the country that have communications. We've been accredited since the 1940s, so we've been around for a long time. One of the major pillars of our accreditation states that 50% of what you take in your overall degree has to be in liberal arts. So as you heard from Rachel in the beginning with the College of Arts and Sciences, that's where the majority of that's where our students take the majority of their classes. So 50% is in arts and sciences. So I know some students are saying, I want to go into communications and maybe in broadcast or in advertising. Why do I have to take those liberal arts classes? Well, it makes you a well-rounded communicator. So even though if you're going to be in broadcast, what are you going to talk about? Some students say, I want to talk about politics. Well, there's political science and arts and sciences. I want to do advertising and I want to do a study as far as like with a specific area of my demographic. There you go. You can do that within psychology, sociology, women's and gender studies, African-American studies, you name it. It gives our students the opportunity to do that. But as you see with our majors, they fall into different areas of communications. So we have majors such as advertising and public relations, which we call our persuasive majors. It's getting students to, teach students how to think and how do you present, how do you get somebody to buy, how do you get people to feel a certain way. And then you will see our news majors, which are broadcast and digital journalism, and then magazine news and digital journalism. And we've added those together. And as you see, we've added the digital journalism aspect to those majors because things are now digital. So not only just being on the news or how it's presented on TV, but think about your social media aspects and also things such as online, YouTube, also other outlets as well. Then we have what we say is our entertainment majors, and that's television, radio, and film. That's the Bandier program for recording and entertainment industries in photography. So photography actually has 2 tracks. If you are interested in going into editorial or advertising photography, such as like owning your own studio, doing individual portraits, maybe some documentary as well. And then there is photojournalism for those who want to take photos for National Geographic or different news outlets, Elle, also GQ as well. Then the Bandier program. This is a very unique program. This program was created by Marty Bandier, who is the owner of Sony, a few years back. And he created this program for somebody who's interested in music, but not necessarily wants to be an artist or play an instrument. Now, of course, we have students who do that, but the Bandier program is very unique, where it's like, I want to be we're on a record label. I want to work in the music industry with artists, A&R, publicists, everything as well. And then television, radio, and film. If you're thinking about going into screenwriting, producing, even acting, special effects, that's all a part of television, radio, and film. And then lastly, you see their graphic design. Graphic design is in all of our majors, where our students tell their stories more visually. One thing that we will do your first year, you will touch a camera. We have a class which is called multimedia storytelling, where our students work in groups of 3 and they tell their stories in multiple areas for all of our majors. You will do a public service announcement. You will do a nonfiction news story, and then you will do a fiction piece as well. So touching the camera is your freshman year. That's a big thing when it comes to our students. You can never have touched a camera before, or you have skills where you have touched the camera, and we will put you into the right place. And with all of our areas, we do have research as well, where we have students who are doing research in areas of communications, students who are doing research all over the place, which is kind of like with sports, sport analytics, sport management, where our students can minor within those areas. And we also have association with dual programs. We have 3 dual programs. One is with the College of Arts and Sciences. The other was with the Whitman School of Management that you just heard. And then the other that we have is with the School of Information Studies of the iSchool, which you will hear about soon. So I would love to have you all come to my information session. Please do it. I do it on every Monday and Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Would love to see you there. And I am going to turn it back over to April, who is now going to talk to you about the architecture program.
Thank you. So our School of Architecture is one of the oldest schools of architecture in the nation. We offer a 5-year Bachelor's of Architecture program. It does lead to professional certification. You do not have to add on your master's after completing this degree to be a practicing architect, although we do offer the Master's in Architecture as well. We are consistently ranked among the top 5 undergraduate programs in the nation by Design Intelligence. You have the option to have a minor. We encourage you to take some classes outside of the field. We feel like our studios are very collaborative in nature, so we want you to work and talk and interact with other students in architecture. We have plenty of ways for you to do that with the bookstore and a cafe and a library and fabrication labs right in our building, which is Slocum Hall, pictured on the slide. A portfolio is a requirement for admission, and you do not have to have previous drawing experience in order to be accepted into the program, or even taking art in high school, although it may be helpful in some cases. The work can come from anywhere, the pieces that you submit, as long as it's 12 to 24 pieces and includes some real life observational drawings. There are virtual portfolio reviews that will be happening for admission, and we encourage you to check those out and even contact Dana. You can find her email on there if you have questions or want to kind of ask about portfolio and what should be submitted and what we want to be considering. The School of Architecture does offer sessions every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Remember, this is Eastern time, so it would be 9 a.m. Central time. They are adding an evening session soon. That day of the week is being determined right now. And again, we'd like to encourage you to study abroad if you'd like to. It is an option with our architecture program. About 90% of students choose to study at one of our global campus hubs. So I am going to pass this on to Tim in our School of Education now.
Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I'm Tim Finley. I'm our Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions and Recruitment in the School of Education. I am really the School of Education specialist, just like all of my colleagues that have spoken with you this evening. So this just scratches the surface for all of us in our respective academic areas. So if you don't remember everything that we've talked about tonight, again, please, as others have mentioned previously, please reach out to us individually. But for the School of Education, we have 12 different majors. 11 of those majors lead to teaching and teaching certifications that can be used across the country in all 50 states, including our arts and music education duals with our Visual and Performing Arts School, health and physical education phys ed programs, our inclusive elementary and special education programs, grades 1 through 6, and our inclusive early childhood program, special education program that Zach mentioned earlier. That's our dual with Falk College. And then we have 5 great secondary education programs that are focused on grades 7 through 12 with that are all duals within our College of Arts and Sciences that Rachel talked with you about earlier. The one program that I'll mention that doesn't lead to teaching, that if you're undecided or you're unsure of whether what you'd like to do, what you'd like to major in, I'd encourage you to reach out to me about our Selected Studies and Education program. That's our most flexible program, and you can actually pursue a double major, a concentration, or a minor within our College of Arts and Sciences because, as others have mentioned, the flexibility leads to a lot of great things, and you can end up doing approximately 30 credits in the College of Arts and Sciences, and then you can see that there are a number of minors that we have in just the School of Education. And then April, go ahead, next slide. And then some of the highlights, the competitive advantages of our School of Education at Syracuse University. You've heard this in a number of places, but you're getting the best of both worlds from our renowned institution at Syracuse, but also having this great personal, small school, community, family feeling within each one of our academic areas. And that goes for almost all of us. And so you will have in our School of Education faculty that know you on a first name basis. They will get to know you. You will have classes under 20 students each. You will have education classes, field experiences, internships, all typically starting in your first year, except for our art and our music program. And that happens in your second year because you'll have content specific classes that you'll take to build a great foundation for your future. As we've all talked about before, study abroad, if that is something that is on your checklist that you're really excited and passionate about, that is something that can definitely be done within our School of Education, and that doesn't happen everywhere. And then 98% of our School of Education students are either employed or going on to graduate school within 6 months, which is a really impressive feat. That was brand new data from this last graduating class. We have a number of different master's programs that can all be done in just an additional year. So a 5-year timeline if that's something that you're looking for. And again, I'd be really excited to have you and host you on one of my virtual sessions. And I'd like to turn it over to my good friend and colleague, Stephanie, that's going to talk to you about the iSchool.
Thanks so much, Tim. So hi, everybody. My name is Stephanie Warden. I'm here anchoring the end of this presentation for Syracuse University, offering you a degree that perhaps you've never heard of before. We offer a Bachelor of Science in Information Management and Technology, and many of you might be asking, what exactly is that? In essence, our students take information and data and we do something with it. We learn how to store it, share it, secure it, visualize it, design it, and make decisions. So of all the majors that we talked about earlier in this presentation, our major pairs well with literally every single one of them. Because if you think about how businesses, nonprofits, all different types of sectors make decisions, they're using data to do it. So I have this picture of Netflix on there because probably many of you are familiar with that program. And so I like to use Netflix as an example of how data informs a business strategy, how data informs the design, how data informs what you purchase, how data informs entertainment. And so our students are people that really like to use technology to solve problems. 50% of our students have experience in technology, the other 50% don't. So our program is designed a little bit different in that we have one major, and then you choose a specific focus area within that, which we call concentration. You can see them on the side panel here. There are 6 of them. Data analytics can be applied to any field, from how we shop, the stories we tell, data in elections, all sorts of things. Digital retail, now let's talk about how we shop. I'm sure many of you are Amazon subscribers and other platforms, and you're buying things online. That is all informed by data, not only what we see and how we see it, but how we pay for it. Are we using cash? Probably not if you're buying something online. Maybe you've heard of something like Bitcoin, things like that. Security is going to be really important. So if you think about all the things we do online, is that secure? Is it not secure? What does that even mean? How does security differ from a corporation or entity to me as a consumer? Of course, I'm sure you're all understanding now how important the internet is and networks and what buffering is and how that can be really annoying. Our students learn how to fix that and make sure internet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all that works. Project management is super important in this digital and virtual world we're living in. Understanding how to manage projects digitally, virtually, and within projects themselves is really important, and the tools we use to do them. And lastly, web design. How we think about how we use websites, the data and the tracking behind them, but also mobile app development. So if you think about how you scroll, when you scroll, and what that looks like, web design might be for you. So that's the organization of our undergraduate program, but we also have minors that you can combine with any school and college on campus. Rachel mentioned at the very top, you can combine a lot of things in arts and sciences, but you can also do that in different ways. For example, we have students that are iSchool students minoring in music, or we have music majors minoring in data analytics. There's all different ways you can combine things. Data and information doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists literally in everything we do. And so that's what our program is designed to achieve. We also have 2 dual programs, which we've already mentioned, with the Newhouse School of Communications and the Whitman School of Management. And we also have a fast track program. So any major that's already been discussed, you can apply to the iSchool and get a degree from the iSchool in data analytics or any of our other graduate programs. April, can you advance to the next slide? And the last thing I'll end with is we're really proud. iSchool students get jobs, even in this global pandemic that we're seeing. We're really proud to report that we have the highest average starting salary of any undergraduate student on campus and one of the highest placement rates. Our undergraduate students go and work for companies that you know and you've heard of and use all the time, from Amazon to banks like JP Morgan, Southwest Airlines, Deloitte, Wayfair, Uber, Airbnb, KPMG, no one went to YouTube last year. I just used that to ask you to follow us on social media, and particularly YouTube. You can find more information about what it's like to be a student at the iSchool and what our students actually do. So with that, I know we don't have a lot of time. I want to thank you. Please feel free to reach out to me directly. My name is Stephanie Warden, and I'm with the iSchool, and I'll hand it back to April. Thank you so much, April.
Great. Thank you all for presenting with us tonight. While I can't share the actual link directly to you, I've placed it on the screen. This is how you can sign up to attend one of our virtual sessions that my colleagues here tonight will put on for their academic colleges. We also host general information sessions through our admissions office that take place every day. You can also sign up for an interview if you'd like to take one. Again, interviews are optional, but we do encourage you to do that. I have put my contact information on here. If you have a question for any of the panelists tonight, feel free to email me and I will connect you to them. I would love, and we would all love, to work with all of you and answer any questions that you might have. So thank you for joining us tonight. I wish you the best, and please stay healthy out there. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you so much, April, and everyone else at Syracuse. Attendees, that wraps things up tonight. Thank you again for joining us. One small bit of housekeeping: when I end the broadcast, the A quick 4-question survey will appear. Please do us the favor of answering those questions. Let us know how things went. And a reminder again that the recording of this session and all other sessions will be available at wacac.com. Thanks and have a great night.